So welcome everybody to the 6th Annual Women in Mining Conference for 2014. We wish to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land we're meeting on, the Whadjuk people. We acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of the city and this region. My name is Lynn Olsen. I'm going to be your chair for the first session today. Now, our first speaker for today won't need much of an introduction to anybody here. Sabina Shugg is the founder of WIMWA. WIMWA's grown from nearly 2,000 members statewide now, which is pretty impressive over our 11 years. Our first 70 people we had down at the Celtic Club for the first function 11 years ago. So Sabina's going to talk to us today about her perspective on communication, confidence and change. Please join me in welcoming Sabina to the stage.
Thanks, Lynn, for a lovely introduction. Welcome, everyone. It's absolutely fabulous to be here today. I'm going to start by I'm going to start by introducing myself as I usually do, and that is, my name is Sabina, as in Sabina the miner and not Sabina the ballerina. Most of you have heard that by now, so hopefully the joke's not wearing too thin yet. Anyway, here we are today, and it's a fabulous day. And I think I'm like Lynn, and I look around this room and just get blown away about this community that we've built. We've sold out. We really sold out. Our tickets sold out nearly as quickly as Rodriguez. Anyway, we're not having a second night, so today's the only concert to come to. So I think that illustrates the value of this forum. And I think that when we had the first event, it was a lot of individuals buying tickets for the event. And as time's gone on, the companies have really come on board and are buying tickets in groups for their staff because they can really see the value of the event. So I think that really illustrates where we've come from and where we're going. I want to start by saying a quick thanks to our sponsors and a special thanks to our most important sponsor, which is my employer, which is now KPMG. Momentum Partners was acquired by KPMG as of 1st of August, and we're very excited about our new future as part of this organisation, although I am a bit dismayed that I have to stop doing accountant jokes. Oh, there we go, I did it again. But at this time, I'd also like to say a special thanks to Carl and the others at Momentum Partners for supporting women in mining over the last 8 years. And I can assure you that KPMG are very keen to be involved with women in mining and support it even further. So I think we're going to go a long way further from here. Today's theme, communication, confidence and change. There's a variety of speakers here today talking to these topics, and all of them will touch on one or all of these. And they are all advocates of the importance of all of these things. Why are we here today? WIMWA's been going for 11 years. And what is WIMWA? It's a forum for women in mining. We've had more than 100 networking events in that time. This is our 6th seminar. We're in the middle of our 5th mentoring program, and we're mentoring our 200th mentee. We've held 6 diverse boardroom series events which connect mining company board members with talented women from the industry that make up our mentor cohort. Many thousands of women have been positively impacted by WIMWA, and the positive impacts on these women have a knock-on effect to others in the industry. All of this is about supporting and promoting women in the industry. We talk a lot about promoting women in the industry, about promoting diversity in the industry, and diversity means much more than just gender. And I think we all understand that with diversity, we get diverse thinking, which is more productive and more creative. And there is research that backs this up. Companies and boards with increased diversity have better results. But what is it that we really want? We want inclusive workplaces where all are welcome and feel included, regardless of colour, religion, sense of humour, sexual preference or gender. For that matter, And we will find that those inclusive workplaces are better for both men and women. for people to be themselves. Are we there in the mining industry? I think some companies are part of the way there, but we still have a long way to go. Alan Trench, who's talking to us later this morning, he's done some research and he went through the top 150 resource companies. On those companies, there's 819 people that are on those boards. So that's 1.5 times the amount of people in this room, a little bit more than 1.5. On those boards, so if you imagine this room and extend it over another 50–60%, there's 52 females in that. So that's, these tables here, put your hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how many females out of 1.5 times this room. So I think we have got some way to go. We need change. My favourite saying is from the anthropologist Margaret Mead. We might get it up on the screen. A small group of people can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Last night on Facebook, Alex Atkins posted another quote up there which I instantly fell in love with, and maybe we'll get that one up now. There's nothing more difficult to take in hand, more perilous to conduct, than to take a lead in the introduction of a new order of things, because the innovation has for enemies all those that have done well under the old conditions, and lukewarm defenders in those who may do well under the new. I like it. I don't know about you, but at times in my life I've felt like a lone voice. And there are some changes that only need a single voice, but there are other changes that need more than one voice. There are many different situations that need us to be confident, to have courageous conversations. So a little while ago, I was on a bus on a mine site, going to the airport, feeling happy about that. And there was, across the other side of the bus, there was a guy who'd been drinking, and there was cornered against the window. Next to him was a young girl. And, you know, he was talking to her, and he wasn't really being very appropriate. It wasn't like, you know, at this extreme end of inappropriateness, but it was sort of, it wasn't right. It wasn't a comfortable thing. And, you know, I was there visiting as a consultant. I was a little bit away from him, and I sort of thought, I really want to say something, but I just didn't feel quite confident to do it because of where I was. And it really troubled me, and it played on my mind that I didn't do anything. And I asked one of my male colleagues, who's, you know, 6'4" and, you know, very much more sort of gravitas, if you like. And I said, what would you have done? He said, oh, you know, I would have said something. And I went, oh, you know, I should have said something, because I was wrong in not saying anything and not feeling that I had authority to do that, because I do have authority. I have Margaret Mead's authority. She said I can, so I must. And now I have Machiavelli's authority as well. So what would I do next time? And I mean, it's hard, you know, and this is just one example, and it's just a simple example, and it's just trying to represent lots of things that go on out there in our world. My friend told me that his kindy-age son was taught, stop, I don't like that. And I thought that was really powerful. You know, it's really simple, but, you know, for some of us from perhaps a little bit older than, you know, that generation that had been taught that, you know, it's something that we maybe didn't learn. And I thought, I reckon it's pretty applicable in times in the mining industry, with or without the hand motion. But the hand motion is quite handy too, because it just sort of stops, you know, stop. So what would I do? Shoulders back, you know, feel a bit more confident, a bit taller, quietly and calmly. Stop talking like that, it's not appropriate. Just state the fact. And if he was to question me, I would say, Machiavelli sent me. And that's going to blow him away, so then, you know, he's going to think he's like the CEO or something. So, but anyway, these are just little things. Everyone's got their own little tips and tools, but I just think everyone needs to have tools and tips and tricks to deal with situations. Because we need to have these confident, courageous conversations at the time so it doesn't happen to the next person or another time. And we need to stick up for each other. We need to stick up for others that have these courageous conversations and back them up, help each other out. Make your workplace inclusive by stopping these bad behaviours. Another story I was going to tell you is there's a video on YouTube about the dancing guy or something, and it's at some music festival, and there's one guy stands up and he's got no shirt on, and he's just dancing and looking a bit stupid by himself, and he's there for a while, and then one guy stands up and joins him, so suddenly there's two of them looking silly, and then suddenly the third gets up there, and then the fourth and the fifth and the sixth, seventh, and suddenly there's hundreds of people there, and it only sort of takes 3 minutes to form a movement. You know, but the biggest amount of time is one guy there by himself for the longest. And then once someone joins him, so that supporting person is the real change, because that one person goes from being a loser to being someone that started something. So just think of that sometimes too. I think that's a good little story. Maybe I didn't tell it as well, but so these seemingly small incidents are one thing, and they all add up, but then there's other incidents that maybe you can't just do anything about at the time for a variety of reasons, but you can go away and do something afterwards. Don't just ignore it. Talk to others and come up with strategies. There's other examples in the community. On the WIMWA Facebook page recently, we posted a story about Hannah Fitzharding, who's here in Perth. I don't know that she's here today though, but who got a Woolworths toy catalogue and objected to the pink pages of toys and the blue pages of toys, and wrote to the CEO about the problem she had with Lego being a boy's toy. He wrote back about the importance of gender equality, and they've made changes in their catalogues. So she made change. Then there's bigger fish to fry. So there might be issues in your workplace or your community where you might need to enlist some allies and come up with a plan or a business case for change. Get together with some others, and when you're choosing your others, make sure you've got diversity in that. There's no point in just choosing 5 of yourself to talk about how to resolve an issue. It's not going to give you the best answer. Come up with a plan, get prepared, and have some courageous conversations. So to summarise, what do we want? Inclusive workplaces where everyone is comfortable and welcome. How do we get them? Sounds a bit like a chant, you know, at the swimming. By working together to have courageous conversations that lead to change. Take responsibility for yourselves, look out for others, and ask yourself about what courageous conversations are needed in your workplace or your world. Thank you. Have a great day.